Selling your business part 1. Don't procrastinate when facts are obvious. From the Apostle of Dr. Strive Masiwa. To be honest with you, the first time I sold a business, it felt like my heart had been ripped out of my body. Selling a business for the first time is never easy and can leave you emotionally devastated. However, the important lesson of this series is this: the capacity to sell a business is a rite of passage to maturity as an entrepreneur. If you are unwilling to consider selling, let alone actually sell when you have to, then you are not cut out of the big ridges. Let's talk now. It took me about 5 years to build my first business. I started building it before I was married and I had children. It was everything to me. It was not unusual for me to spend 48 hours at the business non-stop. I was young and bursting with energy, drive, ambition, passion, and I powered it all into my little business. It grew quickly and soon people heard about me. I had what they call in Africa a name, and it was because of my business. Over the last 20 years, there is been a lot said and written about my high-profile dispute with the government of Zimbabwe in those years, as I tried to convince them to let me set up the first mobile phone business. Today is not the time for me to go over that ground again. However, my decision to take the matter to court resulted in the government refusing to do any business with me whatsoever. And my business at the time relied on a lot of government contracts. Whilst I thought that the government's decision was unfair, it was what it was. I had either to wait until the business collapsed or sell it. I had no option, so I moved quickly to find a buyer. I wasted no time and I did not procrastinate about it. Don't ever procrastinate when the facts are obvious. I sat with my accountant and my lawyer and advised them for my decision. We drew up a list of potential buyers. The buyers knew the challenges I was facing. I also made sure I disclosed everything so that I did not mislead them. A few weeks after starting the process, I had been sold and I was out. I said goodbye to my staff and went on my way. It was tough, very tough, particularly as I had sold as a distressed seller, which meant I had little room in the negotiations. I did my best to get the best deal. From that day forward, I was never the same again. I had acquired a tough inner core. I had become a better entrepreneur. Today, I have sold many businesses for any number of reasons, and I shall talk about some of them in this series. I did the right thing each time. Selling a business is not always because of crisis. It's just a part of good business. It's like selling soccer players to other teams in part of the business side of owning a soccer team. A soccer team that won't sell any of its players is not a serious team. An entrepreneur who will not sell a business or assets to deal with a problem they face is also not serious. I know investors who won't put a cent into your business unless you assure them that you are willing to sell, if that is the best option for the business. In this discussion, I will examine a number of issues relating to when to sell and how to sell. When I was in America a week ago, a young entrepreneur came up to me and said proudly, "I am a serial entrepreneur. I start businesses and then sell them to big businesses like Google and Apple. Next time you have a business to sell, give me a call first," I replied, laughing. That's his business model. It's rather like a guy who sells day-old chicks. That's a very efficient business model. What's your own business model? Are we dealing with a distressed seller or a distressed asset? When you look at a potential acquisition, a company you want to buy, you obviously have to ask a lot of questions. Is the owner facing a real problem like cash flow, illness, political? But the company itself is performing normally, or is the asset you want to buy performing poorly in the market? Perhaps facing new competitions or losing value because it can't innovate to meet market demand. Or key global prices have either risen or fallen. There are lots of reasons people sell their businesses. You and your team need to ask the right questions to find out.